While it's selling, Ollie has decided to go for a piss.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Footy Fetish podcast with myself, Ollie, and my boy, Mark.
Yo.
Just the two of us today. No Alf, he's been a little wimp, he's ill. He fell over at work earlier. And
Stubbed his toe.
Stubbed his toe, so they put him an Uber home. No, I'm joking. And then I believe Harry is working again tonight, so it's just your boys. Just me and you. Exactly. Yeah, not going to be too crazy of a podcast today. We're just going to go through the Premier League review of game week 4, and just before we get into that though, we're going to touch on a little bit of Champions League. It's already kicked off. What the Champions League was on, I forgot it was on. So the two games that have already kicked off, we've got Sevilla versus Red Bull Salzburg, and then we've got Young Boys versus Man United. So both about an hour in at the moment. Sevilla have had a man sent off, but they're drawing 1-1. They had En-Nishri sent off. And then United have also had someone sent off in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but they
Classic.
are 1-0 up. They are 1-0 up though, with who else but Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, Alf in the chat, you fucks. Illy. Welcome.
But to be fair, Young Boys have had 11 shots.
Damn.
United have had 2. But both of United's 2 have been on target, and only 2 of Young Boys have been on target so far.
Tit for tat.
Yeah, exactly.
Ronaldo with the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Ronaldo, mate. Who else? Who else but Ronaldo, the Champions League GOAT? But yeah, we have some other games kicking off tonight as well, with Lille versus Wolfsburg, Villarreal versus Atalanta, Chelsea versus Zenit, Malmo versus Juve. Big one with Barca versus Bayern.
Jesus.
And the final game of the evening is Dynamo Kiev versus Benfica.
God, that kicks off soon. That Ben Barca game. Jeez, that kicks off in an hour.
Yeah, just under an hour. Yeah, but
cool. They haven't started Messi.
To be fair,
they haven't started Messi. What are they doing?
Oh God, yeah, it seems like he doesn't play for them anymore. But no, Messi is expected to. Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar all expected to start against Club Brugge tomorrow.
My God, I feel so bad for the Club Brugge.
Oh, I know. I'll be wearing my shirt over there, just hanging up my Club Brugge shirt, even though we're going to get absolutely dominated. But yeah, to be fair, I think Bayern are going to probably ruin Barca with the state that Barca are in at the moment.
Yeah,
it's going to get absolutely dicked on, I think. But,
and the form of Lewandowski.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, now Lewandowski is a better rating on FIFA 22 than Ronaldo is.
We've got Sketch Lippy coming into the chat. Cheese or sheesh. That hat bacon, Ollie. It's official merch.
Official merch.
Designed by yours truly. Sketch Lippy.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a nice little logo, that, isn't it?
It's a good hat logo.
It is a very good hat logo. It's also a very good jumper logo.
Oh, yeah. Good little jumper thing.
It is. But yeah, we've got a couple more games tomorrow in the Champions League. So we've got Besiktas versus Dortmund, early kickoff at 5:45, along with Sheriff versus Shakhtar Donetsk, also at 5:45. So I've never actually heard. Sheriff.
Just
their
Sheriff.
Their badge is literally like a sheriff's badge.
Yeah, literally a star, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, strange. But we've also got Inter Milan versus Real Madrid. That'll be a good one. Atletico Madrid versus Porto. Club Brugge versus PSG. Liverpool versus AC Milan. Man City versus RB Leipzig. And then Sporting Lisbon versus Ajax. Or Ajax, as people call it.
So just quickly, George has said, where can he cop one? It's a very good question.
Where can you cop one? Just drop us a message.
Drop us a message. Yeah, we'll sort it out. I mean, luckily, George or Sketch Lippy, you know who we are. So if you want one, we can get one sorted.
Exactly, mate. Sort you out. But yeah, that's it for sort of Champions League games for this week anyway. We've got more in 2 weeks' time. I think it's around about when it starts. It's around about every sort of 2 or 3 weeks for a little while. So that'll be good. I'm excited for the couple of different games. To be fair.
Oh yeah, Liverpool Milan.
Liverpool Milan will be a good one. Imagine the Istanbul scenes reoccur. Obviously not Champions League final.
No, just
very early stages.
Very
of
early.
League, but
you never know.
Fine.
You never
Doesn't matter. Exactly. But yeah, Barca Bayern I think will probably be quite good. Inter versus Real Madrid will be good. I think Atletico will probably do Porto in, but I still think it'll be quite a good game. It'll be interesting to see what PSG do together with obviously their main front three starting now. The big men.
Yeah, the big boys.
Exactly. I think the Leipzig City game could be actually quite interesting. I think City will probably win, but
It's
I
likely.
still think Leipzig will give them a good run for their money.
Actually, you calling it here? Who do you think's winning Champions League?
Oh mate, we haven't seen any Champions League.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Call it before you see it.
Chelsea again.
Chelsea again. I mean, that's fair. They've only improved their squad.
Oh no, to be fair, Reece James got a picture with Drake at Tiffany Calvert's birthday party the other day, and you know the Drake curse.
Oh
Whenever a football
no!
player's got a picture with Drake.
Oh
They haven't done
no!
very well that season. So unfortunately, Chelsea, Reece James has completely just ruined your season. No Premier League, no.
We've had a
Champions League.
comment from Alfie just screaming Man United.
Man United.
Man United.
What do you think?
Oh, he thinks Man United will win it. I thought they were scoring. Okay. Yeah, so Alf thinks Man United will win Champions League. I mean, now they've got Ronaldo, things are slightly different there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're looking very. Well, they look like they've improved this season anyway. And with the addition of Ronaldo, it's just sky's the limit, really.
Oh man, yeah, it could be a really tough Champions League, to be completely honest, with the way the teams have balanced themselves out.
Definitely. You could see an underdog, someone sort of come in, someone you may not expect to maybe get to the final, maybe not win it, but
Well, like a Dortmund.
I'm not sure how far Dortmund will go. They've still obviously got Haaland and everything, but yeah, I think they could get to the quarterfinal. I think maybe it depends who's left at that stage, but I definitely think they can get minimum quarterfinal.
Fair enough. I mean, we got the team for it, to be honest.
Exactly. But yeah, that's about it for the Champions League. I would move on to the Europa League, but no one cares about Europa League this year because Arsenal aren't in it, so it's fine.
Where did Dortmund come from, says Alfie. Oh, my camera's glitching. Ooh.
Where did Dortmund come? Oh, as in like what your shout for Dortmund?
Oh no, I just saw them because they're not a half terrible team, and you said about them bit like an underdog team, and I was thinking, well, you're not going to see Sheriff get to the Champions League final, are you? It's like it's going to be. Yeah, what do you mean you never know?
I would love that though.
I don't know
Young
if you
Boys versus Sheriff in the Champions League.
I don't know if you
final.
can see this, but my camera is having a little bit of a moment, and there's like odd glitches. And I'm not too sure what's happening.
I'm looking at my other screen at the
You
moment.
keep
in the
seeing
corner of my eye,
something happen.
flicker.
Yeah. So apologies.
Yeah.
It just happened again.
It did. Oh, it happened twice. There we go.
I don't know
You
what's going
audio
on.
listeners, don't worry. For you people watching, I don't know, blame Mark. Technical difficulties. But
alright.
yeah, that's about it for Champions League now. Oh no, Young Boys have equalised.
Oh my god.
Oh, I would try and pronounce his name, but no idea.
My time to shine.
Yeah, Ngamlu.
Mumi Ngamaleo.
Ngamleu.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
It's a great shout from Mark. Love to see Dortmund versus Atalanta final. Wow.
That would be quite good.
That'd be crazy.
Underdog versus underdog, right?
Yeah.
There. But yeah, that's who expected Young Boys to.
Jesus.
To equalise. Well, it is 10 Man United, so, and they did lose Aaron Wan-Bissaka, so
Yeah.
it's not that surprising actually.
Wow.
But yeah, should we move on to? Actually, no, I do have one bit of news. It's the only bit of news that matters for this week. And Wrexham are going to be in FIFA 22. Come on, up the Wrexham.
We love them.
You do.
If any one of you don't know who Wrexham FC, they are now commonly known to be owned by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Exactly.
And sponsored by TikTok, which is another weird one. So fair play to Wrexham.
Money at them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Has to be done. But yeah, they're going to be in FIFA 22. They're going to be part of a new sort of league thing that I think that they're doing called Rest of World. I think it's probably just going to be a collective of a load of random teams across the world that aren't in FIFA that probably should be. So they're just going to have like a miscellaneous category.
Yeah.
A miscellaneous league.
And the others.
Yeah, and the rest of them, you know. And yeah, apparently it's always sunny in Wrexham if you didn't know. There we go, that's from Alf.
Thanks Alf for that one.
Cheers, Alf. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into the Premier League action for this week. Start with the early kickoff on Saturday. Palace versus Spurs. Now Alf's not here to say how awful Palace were. No, I'm joking. Fair play to Palace. They absolutely dicked on Spurs. Spurs were shit. They actually dominated them, bringing some of the Spurs fans back down to earth after their thinking they're all that from their 3-1-0 wins. The wins that they scraped. Alf, give us a little rundown in the chat if you're.
Show us how you're feeling.
Exactly. I think Tanganga, where he obviously got a red card. He was very lucky to not get a red card for the first incident with Zaha when they squared up to each other.
Yeah, grabbing throats and.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he was a bit lucky to get away with just the yellow for that, considering the initial tackle and then the sort of everything that happened afterwards with them squaring up to each other. But yeah, he ended up getting sent off 2 minutes later anyway for another stupid challenge, I think, on Benteke. So yeah, he's an idiot. Why on earth would you run straight in
Alf came
2 minutes after you've just had your first yellow?
Alf came in and says, "We dominated Spurs. Nuno sucks."
Nice, I rate that.
Fair enough.
Short and sweet rundown of the Palace game right there. But I think Gallagher looked really good again. He's
good to see.
Definitely one that I think Palace are going to want to try and keep for next season, sign him on a permanent. I'm not too sure if he will, but yeah, I think at the moment it's only positive showing from him. Great young talent.
Well, I'm just looking at the stats and he's not wrong. Palace did dominate Spurs. 14 shots, 18 shots, 4 on target. That could be better. 63 possession, 498 passes, 82 pass accuracy. 13 fouls, 2 yellow cards. But then they had 2 shots, 1 on target, 37% possession, 314 passes, and 73 of them, 73% pass accuracy. Not great.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing. I'm not sure if we did say the score at the beginning of this, but it was 3-0 to Brighton. Brighton, Palace. Oh, that's going to kill me for referring to Palace as Brighton. There we go. You won't see me on any future podcasts, so I won't bring that back. But,
I just won't see you.
No, exactly, yeah. I'll just have the audio. You won't have my
camera. Well, he did come in, and I think he's given a little bit more detail on his thoughts on that one. He says, "I'm gassed. We showed how we can play under Vieira, and it's fantastic. I haven't seen us play like this ever. We actually played football with confidence and played lovely football. We have to do whatever we can to sign Gallagher. Eduardo double on his debut."
Yeah, I hadn't got to Edouard just yet. Calm down, son. Calm down. But yeah, I did say Edouard looked great with his 2 goals in the 9 minutes that he played at the very end. Yeah, I really do hope we can see more from them, linking up like that. But I definitely think that Edouard, who's it's only been 9 minutes, I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but I do think Edouard will be replacing Benteke. I think they'll probably, if he does kick on for the rest of the season, I think they'll probably look to get some sort of money for Benteke during the summer.
Yeah. If any.
While he's worth something, as opposed to just letting his contract run out and then him either leaving for free or retiring at Palace or whatever he decides to do. But yeah, I think it was just very dominant game from them.
It's nice to see.
Where was Harry Kane? I completely forgot he was Tottenham. He's just been a bit non-existent since this whole saga's gone down with City and everything.
He was playing. He was on the pitch. But...
Yeah, I know. But he was basically non-existent. I just didn't see much of him at all. He just
Anderson
wasn't there.
Anderson had him in his back pocket, mate. That's all.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
But yeah, I've also got Emerson Royale. Didn't do a whole lot at all, but he was absolutely dreadful. The wingers just did him in. He didn't know where to be covering people. He couldn't keep up with Zaha. Zaha basically was had him in his back pocket the whole game, to be honest. So great signing for you, Spurs. Really positive move so far. Obviously, I know it's his debut and everything. We can't criticise too much, but he did get made an absolute fool of, to be fair. So yeah, screw him.
I think Alf's coming back to you up a little bit there. He says it's tough because Benteke played really well but just doesn't score. Ollie's right though. Eduardo will replace Benteke because he's offered so much more. Already, and
Kane,
can offer
zero
more.
shots. Yeah, Kane has 0 shots against Palace as well, apparently. But the last thing I've got to sort of really say on that game is Vieira. He doesn't do losing against Spurs. He doesn't understand that. It's not part of his vocabulary. You know.
Nice.
Big boy stuff from Vieira. I think, yeah, it's all going in the right way for Palace at the moment.
Yeah.
They probably could have beaten West Ham, but to then come back from obviously last week anyway, to then come back from sort of that result and still get a draw out of it and nearly win, it's very impressive. So
it's not been that bad for Palace. Let's have a look.
Not. But there's the Brentford game, they probably should have won that.
Yeah.
The West Ham game, they were unlucky not to win it, but they also did very well to get the draw.
All in all, it's not been
all really
bad.
positive, to be fair.
Yeah, when you look at it,
much better.
7th of August they beat Watford 3-1, and then they faced Chelsea. Chelsea, by the way, only lost 3-0 when they could have got a 7-0 spanking. Drew against Brentford. Probably should have won the game against Watford, lost 1-0, but it's not a terrible loss. Nearly won the game against West Ham, and now they just beat Palace. That is a slow improvement. But they've got Liverpool next week, this week. So it's tough luck.
Yeah. But yeah, unless you've got anything more to add on that game, we'll move on
Bard
to the next one.
said the ref is out of his depth. Have a good pod, boys. I think he's referring to the Man United game. He's probably not liking it.
Yeah. Probably not. Let's have a look. Is it still 1-1? It is still 1-1. It's
nice.
Fine. But yeah, next game, Watford versus Wolves. My first initial thoughts was I still hate the Watford home shirt. I cannot stand it. It's so horrible, man. It's ridiculous.
I don't think they've really had many good kits.
No, not particularly, but there's just the stripes going across the middle, and the fact that they've kind of half faded the stripes, half haven't. It's just not very appealing, to be honest. But a little fact for you: only Man City and Liverpool have had more shots than Wolves so far this season, and they've only actually now.
Sorry, say that again.
Only Man City and Liverpool had more shots. Also, before game week 4. You good there, Mark?
Yeah, kick Sank over.
Yeah, only Man City and Liverpool have had more shots than Wolves so far this season. Yeah, and they have only just scored their first two. Well, sorry, they've only actually scored 1 goal this season. The first goal was an own goal, and it was their debutant Hwang that scored on his debut.
Nice.
Exactly. It was a little bit of a scrappy goal, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
he stuck it in.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. But yeah, Trincao looked really good. He was just whipping in balls. He got really, really nice ball into Semedo at one point that he could have capitalised on, but unfortunately Semedo just tapped it wide. And then there was a really nice flick from Jimenez as well. I'm not sure if you watched any of the game or anything, but Jimenez.
I watched some highlights, but I completely just missed this game. I just didn't see the highlights.
Yeah, Jimenez it was a lovely ball. I can't remember who passed to Jimenez, but it was just coming straight at him, and he was a tiny little flick through his legs, just went straight into Semedo. Again, Semedo just managed to send it past the post. Unfortunately, the wrong side of the post. It is what it is. But yeah, Watford weren't great at all. In fact, they were quite awful. They just had nothing going forward the whole game. They just, from what I saw, they just defended. It was not too bad for all things considering, considering that they were just defending the whole game, it probably could have been a lot worse. And the fact that it was only 2-0, they're probably quite happy about. But at the same time, they weren't.
When they get those goals, they're 2 late goals as well. So.
Oh, what for Wolves?
Yeah. Two later goals. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've just seen a comment. Mr. Hulk 7000. Don't turn around. Not realizing I can see behind me anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Alf said, "Do you think Wolves will be safe this season?" I think so. I don't think they'll do anything.
I think they
crazy.
will, but I think it'll be scrappy. They're not looking impressive at all, and I think they'll just scrap their way through the season. Probably end up like 16th or something. They're not looking very impressive.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get relegated, but I don't think they'll just. I just think they'll just be there. They'll just be there.
No, definitely, I think it won't take long for them to like actually start converting the chances, because they're getting a lot of shots. They're moving in the right direction in terms of like I said with Trincao, he put some amazing balls in, and he's done really well since he joined. So I think if they capitalise on that sort of thing, all they need to do is just find that end product and manage to actually start finishing things. But they're doing everything else right, so it's a tough one. They could still have a good season, but they just need to, as I say, find that finishing product that they're evidently missing at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of about it really. Do you have any more to add on the Watford Wolves game, Mark?
Not really. I think Watford are going down if they continue like this.
Yeah.
Probably.
Most likely. Hopefully, anyway.
Hopefully.
But yeah, Brentford-Brighton. Brighton won 1-0 in the end. First initial thoughts of the game was I actually forgot Danny Welbeck plays for Brighton. He's just become one of those players that I forget exists. Yeah.
Shame for Brentford. Wanted them to sort of win that game.
Definitely. Ivan Toney nearly scored a very cheeky banger from like near the halfway line. He caught Sanchez off his line, but yeah, I think he hit the post, or he just missed it or something. But
scrappy game, 5 yellow cards.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It wasn't great. And Bremo was absolutely trash.
Yeah.
He was so bad. He scored 2 shots in the space of a minute, and then missed another one very shortly after that. Brighton basically just did nothing throughout the first half. They were just so dead. They were just defending constantly, and it just didn't look impressive at all. But yeah, I think Brighton got a little bit lucky. For the first 75 minutes, I'd say Brentford were definitely the better team. They just couldn't convert anything. A bit like Wolves, really. They just had many chances, but they just could not get it past Sanchez. But yeah, I think like I say, Brighton were a little bit lucky. It was a great goal from Trossard at the end, though, that sort of managed to secure it for them. It was a little bit scrappy in the sense that there was just a lot of movement in the box, but it was a lovely finish from Trossard to just tuck it right into the right hand corner. Lovely bit of curl on it as well. But yeah, got a couple of messages from Alf in here as well. Tony has hinted he wants to go to Arsenal. You guys need to go for it.
Ooh,
I don't think about that. I saw a video on Instagram earlier of Tony basically talking about the Arsenal game, saying that we're basically just not very impressive. He's not sure if it was like we've sort of previously spoken about, whether it was just the night itself, everything was just going in Brentford's favour and everything like that, and it just looked like it was just one of those opportunistic chances for them. But yeah, from what I've seen in this video, he didn't really speak too kindly about Arsenal. He wasn't like slating Arsenal at all, but it wasn't like, oh, they're a really good team and I hope they get back to back to where they were. He just didn't really say a whole lot positive.
Not promising.
About Arsenal, really. Yeah, but they're still better than Brentford. It doesn't matter. He said you won't win anything till you get a striker. Well, yeah. If it is him, if he is that striker that we go for, then as long as he performs, I'm happy with it. To be fair, but yeah, I think Ivan Toney is a great player. He's unlucky to only have got one goal or something so far this season.
Yeah.
When he broke the championship record last year, so I think he's probably missing the championship in that sort of way.
Alf said he would 100% sack off Brentford for Arsenal, but yeah, he did pay you guys off that.
Yeah.
Kinda, a little bit.
Yeah, of course he would. It's like, as much of Arsenal aren't doing amazing at the moment, slightly better, but are not doing amazing at the moment, there's still a lot of players that would move from other Premier League clubs to Arsenal. We're not completely sort of dead in the water, but you never know. Speaking of Arsenal, should we get on to the Arsenal and Norwich game?
Yeah. Positive result.
Let's
go.
1-0 to the boys.
Shame
nice
Norwich.
Clean sheet at home. It was only Norwich, to be fair, but it's just, it is what it is. I'll take it's positive. It's 3 points. We finally got off the mark with the goal. A lot of questions being asked about the goal, but ultimately it was onside. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think Tomiyasu had an absolutely great debut. He looked so confident going forward and defensively. He actually nearly scored from a really good cross from Kieran Tierney as well. So excited to see what he does going forward. He's a great young little player, it looks like. He's only 22. So I'm happy to have him at the moment. Hopefully he'll continue to push on.
Fair few shots from both teams there.
Yeah, there were quite a few. We started off quite dominant, and then Palace Palace? What am I saying? Palace. Norwich nearly capitalised on a sort of a early mistake from us, but we pretty much still managed to control the game.
I hate to interrupt you, but Shed Gaming on there has redeemed a remove your hats.
Right, well then. Is it for any period of time?
It's for 5 minutes, although I didn't add in a timer on it. Okay. But it's 5 minutes. So we'll give it
35 past.
We'll wait for it to hit half past. We'll take our hats off for.
It's only 15 seconds. I'll just take.
All right.
Goodness gracious! That hat hair though. Ooh. For you listeners, you're lucky. For you viewers, look at that middle pie.
Ooh. Yeah. Going for the middle pie, I see.
Yeah, what was that? Because my hat's
I don't think I've seen you in ages without a hat on.
You must have.
I don't think so.
Oh no, you went on the podcast last week, weren't you?
No.
Yeah, I definitely have. I normally used to have my hair down like across my face.
It's too long now.
No, it's still alright. It's just I've been wearing a hat all day. So
okay.
Yeah. Back to the football.
Yeah, know how Ollie looks different. Look at them sexy haircuts.
Thanks, Alf. That bit up here as well that's poking out. God, I'm just going to sort this out quickly.
Oh, look at that, boys. Oh, it's gracing us. It's like a Garnier advert.
Sorry?
So it's like a Garnier advert.
Trust me. But yeah, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, Arsenal Norwich. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben White and Gabriel, best defensive pairing we have at the moment. Glad that they're both now fit at the same time. Tierney also looked a lot better. He looked a lot more comfortable, not having to constantly drift over from that left-hand side to cover sort of Pablo Mari or Rob Holding or whatever. But he looks a lot more comfortable with and more confident with Ben White and Gabriel playing in the middle. I felt a lot more confident with them playing in the middle as well, and it was good that Tomiyasu also had a really good debut. So that was all positive going from our defence at the moment.
Slow and steady rebuild that.
Exactly. But I was a little bit surprised that Ramsdale started ahead of Leno, but ultimately I think he did quite well. I think that was probably the bet. Exactly, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, he did quite well. He didn't concede at all. He looked pretty confident. There was a little moment where my heart sort of sank a little bit, where he instead of just booting the ball up the pitch, he tried to do this little fancy footwork and take the ball sort of away from one of the strikers.
I fucking hate it when goalies do that. Like, they just do the old go to kick it and they scoop it the other way. You're like, don't do it. Just boot it. Like, just kick it. Just boot it. I don't care. Send it back to the mid. Why are you doing this? Because you're going to be a funny YouTube video if you fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. So we all know keepers are mental human beings.
Yeah, true.
They're mad, but it's what it is. But yeah, no, as I say, I was pretty happy with Ramsdale in the end. I think it was the right decision to give him his sort of Premier League debut against Norwich. Not anyone of any real sort of threat to us when I say that. They definitely could have beaten us.
Speaking of threat and beating you, Alf asked, would Leno have conceded any of the Norwich's chances, do you think?
I think he might have done. It's tough to say. I think there was a couple of chances that any keeper probably could have made a mistake on. I don't think, in terms of his just general footballing ability, that he would have sort of let the goals in that sort of way. But I definitely think he might have let one in. Not to say that I'm very much pro Ramsdale and not Leno anymore, because Leno's obviously still done a lot for us and hopefully do a lot going forward as well. But as I say, I'm just glad that Ramsdale did get his chance and he proved himself in that game and kept a clean sheet. So more positive from the boys. Pepe was in the right places at the right times, but he just couldn't seem to be able to finish for sort of the majority of the game. Unfortunate. He just seems like he's slowly improving still. Back end of last season, he was very impressive. I think he just, that his signature move is sort of like cut inside, sort of on his left foot and sort of whip it into the in the corner or something. I think he's just trying it a little bit too frequently at the moment. So for us, it's just one of those sort of things where we need to sort of maybe have a chat with him and say, maybe look for the pass next time as well.
Just pass it across the box, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
You pick someone up on a run.
His movement, everything was still good. As I say, he was in the right places at the same time, sort of in the right time. So all he needs to do is basically work on that finishing ability, and he should be good. But as I sort of half alluded to earlier, I wasn't 100% sold on Aubameyang's goal at first until you sort of see the VAR, and he was behind the ball in the end, or in line or behind the ball. It was very scrappy. I keep saying the word scrappy in this podcast, but there was a lot of scrappy goals.
There was a lot of scrappy football. We'll go on to scrappy soon.
Exactly. So you define Arsenal scrappy.
Scrappy.
But yeah, no, I'll take a goal at the end of the day. That's why I messaged the group chat saying Arsenal may have scored. May have scored our first goal.
Oh, 35 pass.
Oh, lovely. Sort the Barnet out. I had also forgotten about it as well.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty nice.
But yeah, we had a number of chances at the end as well to score another one or two from Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka. I think they just need more minutes under their belts, just keep progressing really. Obviously, Emile Smith-Rowe came on in the latter stages of the game. I think he took a knock in the under-21s for England. But yeah, he seems alright.
Just looking at some of the stats, and they're quite weird. 30 shots from Arsenal, only 7 on target. 30 is a lot, but then like seven shots on target isn't bad. But when you go, but they had 30 shots.
Yeah.
So their like shooting accuracy was at like 30-something%.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean about Pepe.
Is that Pepe
in the
just
right places at the right time,
taking shots and just sending it.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, getting that clinical finish could have been a massive game.
Yeah, exactly. It could have easily been a sort of maybe a 3 or 4-0 if we'd managed to do that. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the result. It's a win at the end of the day. It's the first one of the season. We've managed to actually score a goal as well. Actually scored by one of our players and not just an own goal as well.
Nice.
I'm still not sold on Arteta 100% staying. I'm also not sort of actively campaigning for him to leave. But I think it is a win. We kept a clean sheet. We are moving in a better direction. So hopefully, if we
see how that next game goes.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll just keep moving in the right direction,
Which
hopefully.
Is, Burnley, but we'll get to that.
Exactly. But yeah, did you see any of the Arsenal Norwich game at all?
Caught the end of it. But no, I wasn't really. I was kind of watching just because I wanted Norwich to win. Naturally.
I think everyone did.
Naturally, everyone but Arsenal fans wanted Norwich to win. Or maybe Arsenal fans have had enough that just want to go down just so they can see themselves win. Wanted Norwich to win, but that was highly unlikely. They just don't really have anything in the locker, do they, Norwich?
No,
they just
not at all.
Pookie was a half a season wonder.
Yeah.
After that, he disappeared.
Todd Cantwell needs to be on his way soon.
Yeah.
Wasting too much time at Norwich.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to be picked up by. At one point, Liverpool were interested in Cantwell at one point, but that quickly fizzled out. Yeah.
Right. Next game we got Man United versus Newcastle. 4-1 to Man United. Was at the Old Trafford as well.
Yeah.
I think Ronaldo started off really well. Both goals were slightly lucky because they were kind of keeper error, but at the same time, like
you don't win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket.
Literally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he's 36. He's genuinely not human.
No, not at all.
He's ridiculous, and obviously already scored again tonight. Has he scored since? No. Both in their 96th minute of the games. A lot of added time. But
young boys are winning.
What? Oh my goodness! It's literally just popped up.
I've just got onto it.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what?
What has happened?
Is this 2-0, but it's not telling me who scored?
It's
literally just happened.
Yeah.
Saibachu?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet Bardell is fuming.
God.
What's going on? Oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Luckily, it's only the first game of their of the group stages.
What a great start! It's a win. That's a game you win.
No, exactly. I thought after Ronaldo had scored after the first 15 minutes.
Literally 30 minutes. Like there we go.
All said and done.
Bards, where you at? It's very quiet.
Defend your team, Bards. Defend your team. But yeah, still on the topic of United, but Premier League United. Ronaldo kicked his campaign off unbelievably well.
2 goals, not bad.
United, 2 goals. Bruno's goal, did you see it?
Oh my god.
Stunning goal.
Oh, just
stunning goal.
Slapped it.
Another amazing finish and another assist from Pogba. He's got 7 assists in 4 games.
That's crazy.
So far this season.
That's crazy.
He's definitely going to be up there, I think, for
2 assists a game.
Exactly. For the most assists this season. But
yeah,
it's all going in the right direction in the Premier League for United. Not so much Champions League at the moment.
Exactly.
But also credit to Luke Shaw for just shrugging Almiron off like he was nothing, like he was a small school child. Obviously, Luke Shaw is pretty built these days. He's not tall, but he's quite a sturdy guy. And he literally just shrugged Almiron off like he was nothing. So fair play to him for that.
I've got a lot of respect for Luke Shaw. He's pretty decent. Well, pretty decent is an understatement, really, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty decent.
He's probably one of the best left backs in the world at the moment.
Yeah, world class.
World class. Unplayable is probably better.
Yeah, exactly. But it was nice to see Ollie let Johnny Van Der Beek get 5 minutes at the end of the game.
Fucking hell.
I know. But to be fair, Van Der Beek did start in the Champions League game tonight. This is first start for United, and I don't know how long. But yeah, he got 5 minutes at the end of the Newcastle game. Kind of surprised considering they were 4-1 up against Newcastle that he didn't get there on slightly earlier, but it is what it is. I didn't have too much to say about Newcastle, to be honest.
Nah, I mean, they had a fair few shots, but only got 3 on target. 35% possession, 365 passes, which was half the amount of what United done. 81% pass accuracy, not terrible, but United 90%. And just a couple fouls here or there. Not a confident performance, but nothing like they got a lot of shots off. But well, De Gea only could deal with 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Joelinton is shit.
Yeah,
he's so bad. He was just in the wrong position the whole game. He looked so lazy. Newcastle were going to be dying to get Callum Wilson back.
Yeah,
like, dying to get him back. But yeah, he's got to go, man. So bad. But
yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure Newcastle United was I think it was the most viewed Premier League game, like televised ever.
What, because of Ronaldo?
I think so.
Fuck's sake! I bet Newcastle are loving it, but Jesus.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's the most viewed, almost televised Premier League game ever.
No, you're joking.
I'm not.
That's literally
It's
just
mad.
because of Ronaldo as well, and we all know
Exactly.
it. For fuck's
Exactly.
sake.
But to be fair, Ronaldo, the name Ronaldo carries a lot of weight in terms of even when he was just being announced as as coming back to United. I think United stock went up dramatically as soon as they announced that he was number 7.
Everyone's like, "Oh, get on those T-shirt sales, invest my money now."
They sold, I think, 3 times as many as PSG did when they signed Messi.
Fucking hell.
It's all those United fans that are replacing their old United shirts
Updates.
that they burnt. The ones that they burnt.
Oh, I burnt my Ronaldo shirt.
Might as well get the new one. But yeah, Newcastle was shit. They're going to get relegated. 100%.
Yeah,
They're
it's good.
Looking good at all. But yeah, moving on. Southampton, West Ham. 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah. It was a lovely ball in from Fornals into Ben Rama at the beginning of the game, but unfortunately Antonio couldn't capitalise on it. West Ham really turned up in the second half. They just were pretty non-existent in the first, apart from 1 or 2 chances. But it was an awful mistake from Dawson that led to a great chance for Bojra, but he hit the post. So
what a dead game!
Oh no, it was a dead game.
You
We've
expect
not seen that many 0-0s so far?
I was going to say as well. Actually, yeah, true. We've not seen a lot of 0-0s.
One other 0-0, which was the Palace Brentford, if I'm right. Let me have a look. Yeah, Palace Brentford has been the only other 0-0 so far this season.
Oh, crazy!
But yeah, obviously Antonio got a red card, two yellows. Both incidents were just stupid from him. He shouldn't have been involved. Really, it looked a bit amateur, really, which is something we've not really been seeing from Antonio recently. Obviously, just become West Ham's all-time sort of highest goal scorer, and looked to be continuing that for a game or so. And now he's got himself a red card. 2 yellows, so I don't think it's going to be. It's only a 1-match ban, I think.
Yeah.
As opposed to a 3-match ban for straight red. But I think the most entertaining part of it was near the very end of the game. Rice saved the ball right off the line. Oof. Like the ball, it was a goal line technology, and 70% of the ball was over the line, and he just managed to keep the rest of it out. And that would have been so disheartening for West Ham to just lose it at the final hurdle there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this a few times as well. Rice, I think he's probably a bit too good for West Ham.
Massively.
He needs to. He'll be going at some point.
Where do you think? What team would be good for him?
I've said this a few times, but I think he'll be going to Chelsea. Just because of his previous links to Chelsea and stuff like that. I could also see him at somewhere like United. That's been United.
Need that defensive midfielder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got a couple of decent defensive mids, but they haven't got Declan Rice by any means.
Exactly. Yep.
Imagine if Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips link up at club level as well. Imagine if they end up moving to the same team or something. That'd be nuts.
Jesus.
But they are world class for England. But yeah, there wasn't really too much going on with that Southampton West Ham game, to be honest, other than the red card and then Rice saving the ball off the line at the end. So that's about it, really.
We're taking a swig.
I am just taking a quick swig. Right, Leicester versus Man City. I think City looked a little bit shaky at times.
I was going to say
during this game,
Leicester
they didn't look as confident as they were.
Well, looking at the stats, Leicester got off quite lightly.
Yeah.
25 shots, 8 on target, 61 possession, a lot of passing, very good passing. Yeah, it looks like Leicester got off kind of lightly here. I mean, they still lost, which isn't great, but
No, of course. But I think Leicester looked really desperate in the first half. They were just trying to get that early goal to then just sit back and defend for the rest of the game and just see if they could edge out a 1-0 win or something.
Don't think you really want to do that with City.
No, exactly. You don't want City just constantly attacking you.
No, not at all.
Like, at all. But, yeah, they looked a little bit desperate, I say, in the first half with quite a few sort of rash challenges and stuff as well. But Barnes could have put Leicester up 1-0 up about 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god!
And then Vardy did score, but it was offsides. I do like what they're doing with like how they're sort of refereeing VAR and stuff at the moment. They're sort of changing the way they've done it.
More free flowing.
Exactly, yeah, and obviously they're letting the play go a little bit longer. But it's getting to the point now where I think they're really, or the linesmen are taking ages to put their flags up, because they were like Vardy was offside for maybe a good 5 or 10 seconds before he actually shot, put the goal in the back of the net, and then they went, you're not having that, offside or whatever. It kind of seems like they wait to see if they've scored, which might be what they've been told to do now. I'm not 100% sure, but it is a little bit annoying, I think, for some of the players that obviously they kind of give a little look over to the linesman as they're running just to see if they are offside, and the flag's not gone up, and then as soon as they actually shoot, the flag goes up. So it's a little bit irritating for them, I think.
Speaking of like the changes with the reffing and stuff, like the actual reffing, sort of in the middle ref, he's letting a lot of challenges that were a bit like, okay, like blow the whistle, don't do that, drop kick ball, whatever. He's letting them just like play on now, which I think games are becoming a bit too. I think just so many games this season so far have been very messy, very like touch and go.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird, yeah. And I think it is because refs are a little bit more lenient, so players think they can just get stuck in more, which technically they can get stuck in more, but I don't know. It led to something which I'm sure we'll get onto in a bit.
But it was Bernardo Silva in the end that managed to get a little sort of quite messy goal, a little lucky goal really.
Yeah.
It's sort of near the end of the game, but they didn't care. At all. They'll take a win.
Yeah.
When did he score? Oh, it was the 62nd minute. I thought it was a bit later than that. But yeah, City caught Leicester sleeping at one point, and Fernandinho had a great chance to put them 2 up, but he unfortunately just
fluffed it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think Vestergaard's been very impressive for Leicester since he's joined them. Really.
No, I haven't really heard of him doing much, to be completely honest.
No, exactly. I think he got took off an hour into the game or something. He didn't seem to be hanging around too much longer. But yeah,
he looks like Red Skull.
He does. That's a great shout. For those of you that don't know what Red Skull looks like,
Google it.
I'll edit a picture for you here right now. You see that? That is Vestergaard and Red Skull.
And Red.
But yeah, Leicester did look better. I have to say they've looked better than they have been sort of past couple of games. But
they're not the same.
City were no, they're definitely not the same Leicester that they have been in the previous couple of seasons.
Yeah.
City also didn't look like they're at their best, but City on their worst day is still a very good team.
Yeah,
very
very good team still.
Yeah, I think Leicester could have got a little bit lucky and got a draw out of it, got at least a point, but at the end of the day, it's City. City don't care if they win 1-0 or 10-0, to be honest, as long as they get the result.
How's City been performing? Because I don't know about you.
I'm feeling 22.
I knew that was fucking coming. That's why I paused. I was like, wait for him to say it. But
you set me up for it, Mark.
No, I know, I did, to be fair. But yeah, no, they haven't looked. I'm just trying to look at their old games, because I know they've lost a game.
No, they only lost once. They lost 1-0 against Tottenham first game. They won 5-0 against Norwich.
Okay.
They beat us 5-0, and then they've now obviously beat Leicester 1-0. So they've only won.
Okay,
they've only
lost
once,
one,
and that was against Tottenham.
Yeah. That loss is keeping them at 5th though. Jeez.
Yeah.
Smashing the games, and that one loss is just kept him in fifth.
They've got the best goal difference so far.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, sort of about it for the Leicester City game. Chelsea, Aston Villa. I think
Aston Villa
Mendy
didn't do too bad.
No, they didn't do too bad at all. But Mendy was on fire.
Yeah, he's
anything.
He's an insane goalie. Against Liverpool, we were firing at him, and he was just diving, saving everything.
Definitely. I think Chelsea need to sell Kepa, get some of that money back for him that they spent. If they're going to be playing Mendy constantly, I think they'd probably rather sell Kepa, get some of that money back, and reinvest in maybe a decent enough keeper, but not someone that's going to cost you as much as Kepa's probably costing them in terms of wages.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, you're right, mate. Having a heart attack.
Yeah, no, I had a half hiccup. But yeah, it was a great ball from Kovacic into Lukaku, who put it away for his first chance of the game. Really lovely finish. Yeah, really lovely finish from Lukaku. Obviously, just doing bits at the moment. Second goal was also really good. Another great finish as well. So obviously from Kovacic, who set up the first one. So yeah. Decent 3-0 win for Chelsea. Aston Villa, I think they were probably expecting it. Chelsea are just going strength to strength at the moment. They don't look like they're showing any real signs of slowing down at all.
Even when they're put on like a back leg, like we saw that Liverpool-Chelsea game, they had that stability and confidence just to sit back and just go, okay, that's fine. Like we've lost one man, so we'll just sit back and ride the rest of it out.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's hard to break that team down at the moment.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. They're a very impressive team. That's why I've basically said that they're going to win the Prem and the Champions League. Well, no, sorry, they're not anymore because of Reece James.
Oh, yeah.
His Drake thing, but oh well. As much as it was a 3-0 win, they didn't have too much to... it wasn't a majorly exciting game for the Chelsea Villa one. I didn't have too much to sort of say on it.
Well, the goals were quite staggered. 15-minute, 49-minute, 93rd minute. It wasn't like they just fired like 3 goals away and you're like, what are they doing? They're on a madness, and then sort of slowed down. They were just a steady paced game.
Constant throughout the game, really. It was steady pace, and they just showed that they can perform across all 90 minutes. Well, 93 minutes, I think. When was the third goal? Yeah, 93rd minute. But yeah, Chelsea are going to keep doing what they do. They're going to keep impressing, I think, and it's only up from here for them.
Yeah, literally.
Right, second to last game. I'm going to hand that straight over to you, Mark. Leeds versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, a good win. 3-0. You can't really argue with that. Get straight to it though. The Harvey Elliott incident. Not the nicest of injuries.
No.
I thought when I saw it happen, I was just like, "Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?" He's just rolling around. Then I saw him lift his leg up, and his ankle just like, flop it, and I was like,
"It's like that scene of Harry Potter."
Yes.
Where his arm goes all doggy.
And I literally, I saw it, and I was just froze. I was like, "Oh my god, he's 18. Like, what has happened?" I mean, it's bad. Obviously, it's bad.
Yeah.
However, so far I'm aware it's just a dislocated ankle, and it got popped back in within 7 seconds of popping back out.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
So
they
I thought it
obviously
was a leg break.
No. Just an ankle. He's I say just dislocated his ankle. That he still needs surgery to make sure that all goes in back and it's all fine. But obviously it happened, and I think within 7 seconds, of the things being called in, and then he got given like painkillers straight away, and it just went bang straight back in. Popped his ankle straight back in.
Yeah, that's what they have to do though. They can't hang around and
the longer you leave it,
try and put it. Exactly, they can't afford to try and wait until they get him into the changing rooms or whatever to fix it. They've got to do it there and then on the pitch, otherwise it could definitely make things worse.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, as much as it was a horrible tackle, the tackle itself wasn't.
It wasn't malicious. It wasn't
yeah,
malicious.
Exactly. It wasn't a bad tackle in terms of like it wasn't intentional or anything.
It was
like
unnecessary.
That. It was just unfortunate.
I think the tackle was unnecessary. I think the tackle could have been better because he kind of went 2 legs into the back of Harvey Elliott rather than sort of trying to sweep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like usually you see like a 1 leg sweep, but it was more of like a 2 leg just crunch. And my God, did he crunch? And yeah, obviously I agree that's a red. I mean, if he didn't dislocate his ankle, maybe a yellow.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have given a yellow.
I think the red was because of the consequences.
Yeah.
Like obviously
I think the
actual injury
when
itself.
that happens. I mean, it happened when Son did it to.
Oh yeah. I can't remember who did it too.
I can't remember.
I remember he cried.
Yeah, he got a red card, not because the tackle was that bad, but because of what happened because he tackled that. I think the ref, once you're in that position, the ref just goes, look, even if the tackle wasn't that bad, because of what's just happened, it's probably better if you just leave.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, well, I'm the ref. I just assume that's probably what might be the cause of getting reds in that situation because the tackle wasn't that bad on Harvey Elliott. It's just a shame because Harvey Elliott was absolutely balling. He was playing so well in that game. Yeah. I mean, he started against Chelsea, started against Leeds, doing bits.
He's starting for a little while now, but
probably not. Yeah. I reckon he'll be back.
It's not what you need when you're at such a young age. You're really starting to break into that Liverpool team.
Yeah,
you're consistently starting. You're doing well.
Really well. Really well. Phenomenally well. He was probably. I think he got. Did he get an assist at one point? I think he might have got an assist for Salah, but I might have got ruled out. But he's showing signs of being a really good attacking midfield, which is what we don't have. That's the one thing we really lack, is a midfielder that has that attacking potential.
Yeah.
Which is strange. Definitely. But we got Curtis Jones as backup, which again, I'm not mad at. He's quite young. He's a good talent. It would be nice for him to, I think he can slot in.
Yeah. I'm not like... I don't mind Curtis Jones, but I don't see sort of a lot of the hype that sort of a lot of Liverpool fans, because I know a lot of Liverpool fans that all they do is to sing his praises. And
he's good. He is good. I just don't think he gets given the minutes as much. No, because he gets them in a Champions League and he does quite well there. And he is a decent player. He plays well and he slots in quite nicely as well. And he's not arrogant. He's not an arrogant player when you arguably could be at a young age. You could be a nice little arrogant bastard, but no, he's quite level-headed. But I think that just goes back to Trent being young and level-headed and showing how to get into the first team. So you got all these other youngsters going, okay, well, all I've got to do is not be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they've got a role model.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
But Trent in that sort of way. Obviously, Trent is still a young player. He's still obviously being influenced by a lot of other players in the Liverpool team. But I think for these young kids that are coming, like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, that are 18, 19 years old, sometimes younger, I think seeing someone that's not too much older than them, that has obviously had a decent career so far, and is arguably one of the best right backs in the world. So it's something more short term to look up to and think, right, well, that's where Alexander-Arnold is in 4 years away from sort of where I am now. This is what I want to build towards. I want to be the Alexander-Arnold of the midfield or whatever it may be.
I mean, you even see sometimes, I'd imagine, like youngsters, they really probably kind of feel like they're useless if they're being thrown out on loan to championship clubs. But you see it with, Harvey Elliott, for a really good example, actually. He got thrown out to Blackburn and became one of their best players for just the one season. And because he just had he just gave it his all, immediately brought back and was like, cool, he's developed so much, just chuck him back in. Shit game. Oh, big Donny Char, hat looks bang on, boys. Repping the merch.
If you want one, mate. If you want one with a hoodie, mate, let me know.
Exactly. But more on the actual game. Thiago played, repping up. Thiago played really well. Great, actually. He was just, as soon as the ball got to him, everything just slowed down and everyone sort of repositioned and knew that as soon as he goes to Thiago can feed that anywhere and play from that position. Salah, big threat, scored 20 minutes in. fair play to the big man. 100th Premier League goal. He is now
Just about to say that.
the 5th fastest person to do it in Premier League history.
Behind
Thierry Henry at 162 Premier League caps.
No, but behind who are the 4 players? I've got this written down here. Who
Oh,
are the
do
four
you?
players
Oh,
above him?
is it Alan Shearer?
Yep.
Thierry Henry.
Yep.
I'm going blank. I know Wayne Rooney's there, but I don't think he's top. The
One of
third
them's still in the Prem, and one's just left the Prem.
This is Sergio Aguero.
Yep. And one of them's still in the Prem.
One of them's still in the Prem. Oh my god. It's not. It's not Aubameyang, is it?
No.
He scored better.
Silly.
That was silly. Jesus.
He's not that good.
Has he even scored 100 goals yet? I don't know. I'm stumped on that one.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, of course.
Yeah. Mane should also be on that list because he's now on 99 goals after eventually getting his goal.
Oh my god, Mane could have smashed that list.
Oh, he could have had 4 or 5 goals against Leeds.
Yeah.
It was a bit silly.
I don't know what's going. I think he's over. Don't even get me started on that. Right? He was
Go on,
overthinking
rage.
every single decision. Every single decision that could have led to a goal or was the right decision. Like, 3 defenders in front of him, just pass back and try and... No, run forward, run into them when we lose the ball. Like, where do you 3-on-1? Where do you think you're gonna go? Like, you're nowhere. Just pass back. Yeah. Like, I'm not a footballer, but even I know that 3-on-1's bad odds. Yeah. He was literally through on goal. Salah was just there shouting, like, arms up. No one's on me. Like, do it. Just pass it to me and I'll drill it in. Nope. Fluffs it. Just nothing happens. And just his passing was just all over the place. I was livid. I was.
If he hadn't have got that goal in the end, he would be under a lot more scrutiny.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Yeah, like I say, he easily could have scored at least 4 or 5 on his own.
Yeah, I'm hoping that last goal gave him a little bit more of a confidence boost to be like, okay, that's what I should be doing.
He needed that one goal. If he'd left that game without scoring anything, it would have had a longer term mental effect on him, I think. But he should have scored from a really nice ball from Jota as well. Jota pinged that ball into Mane, and it was
That's not the first time he's been bad at finishing. But yeah, Fabinho got a goal as well from cheeky.
He did.
I think that was a lucky it rebounded into him and he just knocked it in.
Yeah, so I think he had a shot, it rebounded, came straight back to him, and he just managed to
again
hit it as hard as he could.
Scrappy goal. But yeah, we had 30 shots, 9 on target, 56% possession, a lot of passing and good pass accuracy, so 11 corners.
One thing I will say is Bamford did a similar sort of thing as Ivan Toney did with a nice little cheeky long range shot from him.
Yeah, did.
I think it was still either hitting the bar or just about going over, but Alisson did his thing and managed to just tap it over anyway, just in case. Got to play it safe in those sort of situations, but it is what it is. Any more to add on your Liverpool, Mark?
Nah, so it was a convincing win. I generally was watching a game wondering why it wasn't 5 or even 6-0, because Leeds really just let it happen. Yeah. To be completely honest, especially when they went down to 10 men in the 60th minute, I was thinking that's it. Like, we're going to flood the gates, and we got 1 goal in. So,
that's a bit. One more thing I do want to say about that tackle on Elliott is obviously Elliott's put on his social media saying it was a complete accident.
Yeah.
Don't abuse him or whatever. But there's a lot of people now replying to him saying, "Do you think the red card should be rescinded?" What do you think, Mark? Do you think the red card should be rescinded?
Yeah, I think it should be, because it wasn't malicious, it wasn't violent, it wasn't like it wasn't it was a bit of a scrappy game, but it was. What did you hear me say? What did you hear me get up to?
I can't actually.
I'll just go again. I kind of think it's kind of fair at this point, because it was an accident. It was very clearly just an accident. Their kind of legs just got caught up under each other's. Tackle wasn't really necessary, but that's why I think if the tackle wasn't really necessary, then it's just a yellow. But if the tackle's violent, it's a red. Exactly. So yeah, I think it should be.
Yeah. Cool. So last night's game actually. It was the last game and last night's game. Everton versus Burnley. 3-1 to Everton in the end. I think they probably would have liked to have kept a clean sheet there. But I think Chris Wood had a really good early chance to get on the score sheet from a lovely sort of ball that was whipped in, but unfortunately couldn't get anything on it. Ben Mee, however, got on the end of a lovely cross to send them 1-0 up.
Nice.
Which is I think they were probably quite gassed with that. Of Burnley. But it was a nice header from Keane to equalise at the near post. I think all he had to do was get it on target, really.
Yeah, just throw his header in.
Yeah, well, a little bit concerned when Keane scored, because it was the only player that Harry had left to play in his fantasy. Obviously, we'll get onto fantasy shortly. But now I realised that Keane's not going to get that many points, so it's fine. But Townsend scored an absolute banger from long range, very similar to his goal for Palace against City a couple of seasons ago, but it just wasn't a volley this time. But yeah, great goal. He can hit him, man. He can. It's no joke. Very much. Exactly. But yeah, and great. Really got off to a really great start as well. So
got him in my team, as we will get on. I transferred him in for that one game basically, and done me well. Nice.
But yeah, he's had a great start. I think at the moment he's got
3 and 4.
3 from 3 games. So from his last 3, I think he's not only the last game. The only game he's not scored in was the first
one. Yeah. I mean, I saw that. I saw he scored like in his last 2 games. I was like, oh fuck it, I'll bring him in. Playing Burnley.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gonna not start.
Yeah, exactly. But I do honestly think though it could have been at least sort of 4 or 5-1 to Everton in the end. They did have quite a few chances to put the game to bed quite early, but Burnley managed to stay strong-ish.
Yeah. And, well, it all happened in like 10 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah,
it was 0-0, and then in 10 minutes it was like 3-1. I was like, blinked and what happened.
It was 13 minutes. The game went from 0-0 to 3-1. Ben Mee scored in the 53rd minute, and then Michael Keane scored in the 60th. Andrew Townsend scored in the 65th, and then Damari Gray in the 66th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It all literally happened within 13 minutes. Imagine if you'd quickly popped out or something. Oh, game's boring. Quickly pop out, come back.
Pop out to the shops quickly.
Yeah, 15 minutes later, like, oh crap, I've missed everything. But is what it is.
Yeah, but Damari Gray though was fairly new signing, isn't he?
Yeah, he only came this summer along with Townsend.
Great buy.
Begovic, I think.
Great buy.
Two of their, I think they paid 1.5 mil for Damari Gray, and
That's
they
disgusting.
didn't pay anything for Andros Townsend or Begovic.
Won them a game basically.
Exactly. But yeah, fair play to Everton. They're looking stronger. Rafa's definitely got a hold of that team at the moment. I think he's only going to take him to do more and better things, really. He's looking very impressive.
On to Aston Villa next week for them. That's another winnable game.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. But yeah, that is it for the Premier League reviews. We will obviously just quickly run through the fantasy as well, and then we'll probably do some of the team ratings on Thursday when we've got the rest of the lads here, because probably better getting more than just 2 people's opinion on the ratings.
Yeah.
I know Alf will be very keen to probably give Palace like a 10 or out of 10. So Alf, if you're in the chat, let me know if I'm right with that. But yeah,
Big Donny Charles there going fantasy.
But yeah, let me get the fantasy.
Yeah, I'm just loading it on my phone, just seeing what's happening.
Here we go. So the results. We'll do results table and then next week's fixtures. So we had my 420 Blaze Matuidi beat Harry Smelly. It was 54-35.
Convincing win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think after Saturday's games, well, obviously 8 games were played on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. I think after Saturday it was basically all said and done, because I only had 1 player to play, which was Van Dijk, and Harry had 1 player to play, which was Keane, I think.
Oh, nice. So kind of equal.
And he was already like 40 points behind me, so
job done.
It is what it is. But yes, now on to your game, Mark. You unfortunately lost against Alf. Mark Crouch Potato lost to Alf's Gay Pride 43-41. Yeah, very close game, mate.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. I left 12 points on the bench.
Yeah,
Just from
that
Zaha,
sucks.
which
I think
sucks.
quite a few people did, in the sense that obviously there was a number of Brazilian and Argentinian players that were not supposed to play, and then some of them ended up playing, some of them didn't.
Bit of a messy one.
Exactly. So I think I had, how many points did I have on the bench? I had 10 points sat on the bench. Didn't matter anyway, but would have been nice to get the extra 10 just for the overall. But yeah.
Nearly 20 points on the bench.
Yeah,
Jesus.
God, that sucks. Charlie's Daniel Gregory FC beat Average 51-45. Go on, Charlie. Go on, you boys.
Your boys.
Yeah, everyone is at beaten Average so far. I'm playing Average next week. I guarantee you I'm going to lose to them.
It's not easy, right? Average always gets a solid score, and you can bet on that.
Well, they get the average.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Exactly.
Oh, Marcus, hello, welcome. Charles going to lose. Mark's got a big game next week. Do I?
Ooh.
Do I have a good game next week? Oh,
We'll get on to the next game.
We'll get there.
But yes, and then the final game of the weekend was George's Arsenal versus Jacob's Ain't Got a Scooby FC, and Jacob won 57-36. Very convincing. For
That
Jacob.
Ronaldo transfer coming in. Clutch.
Well, that's the thing. He had 19 points sat on his bench, and all of his bench came off. Apart from his keeper, came off and came onto the pitch in the end, because he had Firmino, Mahrez, and Mount. None of them ended up playing, so he had 19 points come off the bench, and obviously Ronaldo managed to get Ronaldo. Didn't start him. Lucky, obviously, he managed to. He played anyway. With people not playing, but yeah, I think he was probably. George was probably a little bit disappointed with that, which brings us on to the table. Obviously, I will be editing this all in for everyone so they can see it as well. But in top, we'll start bottom actually. We've got Average. They're 4-0 at the moment. 4-0 at the moment. We then have you, Mark. You've won once and then you've lost 3 times.
It's only 4. It's only 4 games, guys. It's only 4.
No, of course, mate. Don't worry. But then in 6th we have George's Arsenal on 6 points. Jacob's Ain't Got Scooby FC is also on 6 points, but he's got slightly better total points scored. Harry with Smelly Alley in 4th with also on 6 points. And then we have me and Charlie joint in 2nd with both on exactly the same amount of total points. So we've got 9 points and 195 points.
That's so weird.
Overall. So we are actually drawing at the moment, joint 2nd. And then Alf is top with his Gay Pride. Obviously 9 points, but 209 points overall. So he's not too far ahead of us, only 14 overall points ahead of us. So
it's all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but we are all me, Charlie, and Alf are all drawing on 9 points at the moment. But yeah, which brings us on to next week's games, or this week's games, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, Harry does have the most points at 215, by the way.
Oh, he does, yeah. Harry does have the most points, yeah. Got that. But he's also lost twice, so
yeah,
it's unfortunate. But yeah, on to this week's games. I am playing Average, so fingers crossed for me, guys. Fingers crossed. We've got Alf playing Jacob. Alpha Gay Pride playing Jacob's Ain't Got Scooby FC. Harry Smelly Alley is playing George's Arsenal, and Mark, your Crouch Potato, is playing Charlie.
Nice.
So, are you confident, Mark? Can you beat Charlie?
I've got priority transfer.
Are you bringing anyone in?
We'll find out. I mean, I guess you guys won't, even if...
well, there's nothing we can do about that anyway.
I think it's easier to say. It's easier to say, right? Eric Dyer's out and Sarr is out. It's just who I'm going to bring in.
I was quite surprised that you brought Eric Dyer in.
Well, I brought Eric Dyer in because I was like, Spurs...
Was it John Stones?
Stones, yeah.
Yeah. I was quite surprised at that.
But
then
Stones
again,
didn't play. Eric Dyer got me more points than John Stones did for 3 weeks.
Diaz and Laporte are playing, and I've got both of them in my back line. But yeah, I think it will be an interesting week. Fingers crossed I'll be average, but who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows, mate? Who bloody knows? But yeah, that's literally about it, really, for the podcast today. We'll do some of the. I've just seen that thing that's.
I was like, Beamy95. Sterling impregnated my girlfriend. Nice.
I think Beamy is Peter, I think, but I'm not sure. Marcus's brother Peter. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's about it for today's podcast. We'll go through the team ratings on Thursday, and we'll also preview all the games that are happening as well. I have just brought up the socials on the screen, as you can see right here.
Posture. Big Donny Char posted a posture check.
Redeemed a posture check. Sorry, mate. Let me just check my posture. But yeah, that's literally sort of about it, to be honest. So thank everyone for watching. Obviously, please do subscribe, follow. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple
Music,
Podcasts, you name it, we're there, basically. All of your support does mean a lot to us. Obviously, we are moving in the right directions. Obviously, there will be more of us on Thursday. We're waiting to see if Harry's available for Thursday. He may be working. But if not, it should be me, Mark, and Alf. Potentially a little special guest if Harry's not around, depending. We haven't got anyone lined up at the moment, but who knows. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you on Thursday. Laters.
Bye.